If you are looking for screen-free, Montessori-aligned educational tools in Australia, you will likely come across Toys4us. They curate a specific catalog focused entirely on physical, cognitive development. The appeal is obvious. You get tangible, brain-building activities that keep a child's hands busy and their mind engaged. Products carrying the educational or Montessori label usually command a premium price. Toys4us takes the opposite approach. They sell a set of fraction circles for $3.99 and a handheld lab microscope for $5.99. At those price points, early childhood cognitive development tools become accessible to an average income household on a tight budget. The upfront financial cost is low, but the true cost of these toys is actually buried in the retailer's strict operational logistics. We have been conditioned by modern e-commerce to expect low prices bundled with flexible safety nets. We assume easy returns and generous shipping are standard. We can evaluate this retailer using an e-commerce safety check. This scorecard grades a store across 4 categories: product selection, price, return flexibility, and shipping reach. Toys4us easily passes the first half of the test. They carry a highly curated inventory at highly affordable prices, but they offer zero guarantees when it comes to return logistics or broad shipping coverage. You have to decide if the steep discount on educational value is worth navigating consumer-unfriendly logistical trade-offs. To safely buy from this retailer, you have to accept a purchasing environment with absolutely zero margin for error. A standard industry return policy usually gives parents a 30-day grace period to return an item. This timeline compares the standard 30-day window against the strict Toys4us 14-day policy. That clock starts ticking the moment you click purchase, not when it arrives. Even then, items must be returned completely unopened, unused, and in their original packaging. Enforcing these strict return conditions is how the retailer keeps their overhead low. That reduced overhead is what subsidizes the $4 price tags. For a parent, this policy eliminates your ability to test a toy with your child. If you open the box, you own it. If your child completely rejects the activity 5 minutes after opening it, your financial investment is permanently sunk. A $4 loss on fraction circles is minor, but that risk scales quickly if you buy their $62 Wally robot building set. These condition rules transfer the financial risk of product adoption entirely off the retailer's balance sheet and place it onto yours. Consider a common scenario. You accidentally buy a puzzle for the wrong age bracket, or you gift a toy the child already has. If you attempt a return for a simple change of mind, Toys4us strictly prohibits cash refunds. This change-of-mind flowchart shows the cash refund path completely blocked. You only get an exchange or store credit. Cash is strictly for damaged goods. This credit creates economic lock-in, trapping your money inside the Toys4us ecosystem. To actually use that credit, you have to find another item on their platform, potentially spending more money on a site you originally intended to leave. A single common purchasing mistake effectively freezes your capital. The friction extends beyond returns to the logistics of actually acquiring the products. Domestically, the system is efficient. They use standard Australian post, which typically delivers within 2 to 4 business days. But they operate with a hard geographic boundary. They strictly exclude all international shipping options. Even within Australia, the retailer is entirely unforgiving regarding customer errors at checkout. If you make a minor typing mistake or leave out an apartment number, the delivery fails. If a package is undeliverable due to a customer address error, it gets sent back. You are then held fully liable for all return fees and any additional charges to reship the package. Major retailers like Amazon will frequently absorb the cost of minor logistical friction to keep you as a loyal customer. Toys4us operates with zero tolerance. They enforce a strict liability model where the buyer pays for all mistakes. We can use a scenario match strategy to determine if you should actually buy from this retailer based on your specific intent. Let's look at this quadrant chart. The vertical axis measures how certain you are the child needs the toy. The horizontal axis measures proximity to the event date. Early holiday shoppers and uncertain gift givers fall deep into the danger zone. If you buy a gift for a birthday party a month away, that strict 14-day return window expires weeks before the child ever opens the box. If the child already owns the toy, the box stays unopened, but you are still stuck with a useless store credit instead of getting your money back. For casual gifting or early holiday shopping, the complete lack of a safety net makes this retailer mathematically unsafe. Let's look at the second segment, the intentional parent or educator based in Australia. This user profile sits on the exact opposite side of our evaluation matrix. This buyer knows exactly what developmental tool they need right now, whether that is a Montessori toothbrushing aid or a 120-piece wooden puzzle. Their immediate targeted usage completely bypasses the dangers of the 14-day return clock. Because they intend to keep and immediately use the item for a known curriculum, the strict no-cash refund policy is entirely irrelevant to their purchase. For these highly intentional domestic Australian buyers, Toys4us functions perfectly as a high-value discount supplier for specific tools. Toys4us is not a deceptive platform. It simply operates on unforgiving, old-school retail mechanics. You are exchanging the flexibility and safety of modern e-commerce for steep discounts on niche educational items. The golden rule for shopping on this site is to treat every checkout as a final sale, unless the product arrives physically broken. Shop here exclusively for your own children, and only when you have verified the specific developmental need. If you are buying external gifts, rely on major retailers to maintain the safety net of hassle-free returns. True value in e-commerce requires calculating not just the price on the tag, but the cost of the policy.